See if you can find anything worth watching.
Welcome back to Behind the Hero. In yet another setback for the embattled Captain Quark, the Galactic Court ordered him to pay 6 billion bolts in damages to citizens suffering from personal hygienator syndrome. Only 2 days later, Quark was arrested trying to flee to Poketaru. The one-time hero, now full-time Zero, was placed in custody awaiting trial. But the next day it was discovered that he had escaped, flushing himself to freedom. We will return to Behind the Hero after these messages.
What a nut! I almost miss that guy sometimes. Almost.
Ratchet and Clank Going Commando walkthrough. This is planet Dobbo, and was actually one of the first planets where I died on and was really annoyed that I died on it. I've died before, and I didn't really mind so much, but this one I got pretty much 2 enemies from that first question mark that we're going for, and then died. Yeah, that was pretty annoying, but that kind of shows that this game is starting to pick up a little bit in difficulty, and I'm kind of wondering at this point if I'm under-leveled for this area or for these upcoming areas, because I start to level up pretty often here, and even a couple of my guns start to level up quite a lot. Now, I picked up this lava gun, which was a lot cooler at first than I originally thought it was, and that's just because it kind of does good damage when you fire it out in a circle around you, and there are some enemies that can kill, but it's really bad against enemies, I just demolished those guys, but it's pretty bad against these kinds of enemies because they can shoot at you, and at first these guys will die in 1 or 2 hits, but later on in the game they'll take more than that and the lava gun won't be able to keep up, and it's just really annoying. So I use the lava gun a little bit here, but I don't really use it too much in the game, even though I probably should. I never bothered to upgrade it. It probably was pretty good. Now, I did die here, so this is where the checkpoint is, and that's why I had to kill those guys on that platform again. And I mean, I didn't die like on that specific platform. I mean, way later in the level is where I died. But anyway, once you walk up onto here, you're going to be noticing more of these enemies that I once again am using the lava gun for. And I mean, it works pretty well, it does, but eventually it ends up being not quite as effective. And because it's so close quarters, it's pretty easy to get hit by these guys' bullets, and especially with that tank in the background. That tank doesn't make things any easier, even though he did kind of kill his friends there. Now, these are probably the most annoying enemies that we're going to run into, and that's just because they seem to endlessly spawn whenever you run into them. Now, in this level, they don't endlessly spawn, but there will be a level where they, I am convinced, have no spawn limit, and they just come and come and come and come and come, and man, it's just such a pain in the rear. Now, because I don't have a rocket, I don't know if I can buy the rocket yet, or if I can, I probably haven't. I didn't know it was there, but anyway, I don't have a rocket, so I can't use one against that tank. So I had to use this seeking weapon there, whatever it's called, and it's still probably one of my favorite weapons, and it's really good against those tanks. And it's really good against these guys too in this place. It takes about 2 of them to knock out one of these guys, and that can be kind of weird because you aim for one guy and then his Seek's like, oh no, I'm gonna go for this other guy, and you're like, that's not who I wanted you to kill though. There's health right there, which can be helpful, and as you jump forward there's going to be even more enemies popping up. Now in this area, the most annoying enemy is going to be in that top right, because there's going to be, he just takes a while to kill, and he's going to constantly be shooting down on top of you, and it's really hard to aim at him. It's pretty difficult to get the Seeker to go up there, just because the Seeker is going to be more interested in the enemies closer to you down at the bottom. So if you can aim up there with some kind of weapon to try to shoot him, that would be the best way to go about it, because he's going to be the one that's really causing the most problems. But like right there, that Seeker actually went to him. That was kind of nice. I thought it was going to hit the wall. But these other enemies that are going to be popping up are pretty straightforward. You just have to watch them, and of course watch the guy up on top. If you stay behind this cover here, then those bullets should have a pretty difficult time hitting you, but I would still keep an eye on where the bullets are, make sure they're not going to hit you, because you don't want to lose any more health than you have to. So it looks like some of my seekers actually went up and shot the guy up on top of that platform, so that's really nice. And then I ran out of ammo on my seeker gun, so I had to switch on over to the blade, which is not bad either. It works really well against these guys. And then I went over here and got some of the bolts and almost blew myself up by hanging onto that explosive box. Now we're gonna have to jump up onto here and walk kind of this way to the left. Now you don't actually need that swing shot. You don't have to use it there. I don't really know why it's there, but it does make it a little bit safer. Now in this room, this isn't too bad because if you shoot him with the heavy lancer, you can knock him down into the ground below there, and as long as you don't fall in, you don't actually have to deal with those enemies. So just leave them there. They won't be able to hit you, and if they do, you're pretty unlucky. And then try to deal with this tank. So the tank, as soon as you hit him, he's going to start firing erratically at you like, oh, what the heck was that? And he's going to shoot at anything that moves. And then there's going to be 2 more of those enemies over to the left. Now this is kind of where I think the sniper is pointless, because the snipers can't kill these guys in one hit. Sniper only gets 8 ammo. And as soon as you shoot one of those guys with the sniper, every single one of the other enemies is going to know exactly where you are, and they're going to start shooting at you, and you're not going to be able to zoom in and dodge the bullets that they're throwing at you. Maybe some people can, but I can't, so I don't know. The sniper to me is just pointless. This is the part that, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time speaking words today. Anyway, this is the part where I died last time, and this was really aggravating because it's so close to the end, and I think I had 2 enemies left, and obviously I cut that part out, but there were 2 enemies left that I had to kill, and I screwed up and wasn't paying attention, got hit by a bullet, and died. So that was spectacular, but thankfully I leveled up here, so I have full health for now, and these enemies, they're not too bad. I kind of figured out better ways to take them out with this blade gun here. And again, it's mainly those enemies up at the top platform there that cause all the problems. The ones at the bottom are pretty easy to deal with. It's just when you have to deal with the bottom and the top and trying to aim at the ones at the top, that's when it gets a little bit difficult. So anyway, I jumped up here to pick up some of the bolts because more bolts is always better, and you can take a look in this room, notice that there's nothing in it, so climb back on top of this platform, switch to your swing shot, and then swing shot on over to the next place. Now there's yet more enemies that we'll have to kill, so these guys aren't too bad. Just stay on this platform and strafe back and forth as you take them out with whatever weapon you want to use. And it takes a couple of hits to get them out, but finally they go. Then you can boost on over here, and there's a room with nothing in it again. Then you're going to have to switch to whatever weapon it is that... the dynamo. Okay, you're going to have to use the dynamo to activate both of these platforms. Now be careful not to fall off here, because that checkpoint's all the way at the beginning of the level, and you really don't want to redo this. And we're getting pretty close to the end of the level here, so once we swing shot on over here, we'll be collecting what we need, and that'll be it for this video.
Nobody, I mean nobody, gets by the mathematician.
Guess all the good names were taken.
Watch your mouth, Zero, before the mathematician subtracts your head from your shoulders.
Sir, as a fellow number cruncher, could I please ask what this is all about?
That moon's where we divide losers from winners before adding them to the Megacorp games. There's a challenger up there ready to reduce you to nothing.
This technology looks familiar. Perhaps I could...
Sweet. Think you can get us to that moon? Hey! Remember us?